She came home in a coffin, without her ring. The same ring her fiancé placed on her finger 6 days before she died, on a safari in Tanzania, in the most beautiful setting you can imagine, is now missing. Her body made it back to New Jersey. Her belongings did not. And the man who gave her that ring has not called her family since the day he told her mother, 11 hours after it happened, that something had gone wrong. The official ruling from Zanzibar is suicide. Her family says that is impossible. 2 autopsies have been conducted and neither has released results. The hotel surveillance footage that could answer the most important questions has not been publicly accounted for. And the ring, the engagement ring that Ashlee Jenae wore on the happiest day of her life, is either in the hands of investigators who are holding it as evidence, or it is somewhere else, and nobody is saying where. That ring is the question this video is asking, because if investigators are holding it, if it is part of an active evidence collection, then it means the thing on Ashlee Jenae's finger the night she died may tell us something about what happened to her, something the official account does not. This is everything we know, and it goes deeper than any headline has captured. April 3rd, 2026. Ashlee Jenae is on safari in Tanzania with her partner, Joe McCann. She is 30 years old. In 2 days, she will turn 31. She is documenting everything: the wildlife, the landscape, the way the light falls across the African plains for the 145,000 people who follow her lifestyle content online. She is doing what she has always done, building a life in public, showing people what it looks like to choose yourself, to travel intentionally, to refuse to settle. And then, Joe McCann gets down on one knee. The video she posts shows her dropping to her knees with joy before she says yes. She captions it, "If this is a dream, no one wake me up." Her followers explode. The comments fill with fire emojis, with tears, with women who have been following her journey and feel like they are watching someone they know get the moment they deserve. It is one of the most widely shared pieces of content she has ever posted. 2 days later, on April 5th, she turns 31. She posts a photo feeding a giraffe. Rose petals spell out her initials nearby. She writes, "Chapter 31, and I'm exactly where I need to be." That is the last Instagram post Ashlee Jenae ever publishes. On April 6th, Ashlee and Joe McCann check into the Zuri Zanzibar, a luxury resort on the northern tip of Zanzibar Island, overlooking the Indian Ocean. Private villas, crystal water, the kind of place where the world feels like it belongs entirely to you. They're there to celebrate the engagement, the birthday, the beginning of what she had told her followers was a new chapter. No one who watched that proposal video, no one who saw that birthday post had any idea that within 4 days, Ashlee Jenae would be dead. Before I go any further into this case, and I promise you, what is coming in this video is going to stop you cold, I need to ask you something. And I'm asking from my heart. This channel exists because of you. The people watching right now, the people who came back for this video, the people who shared the last one and told somebody else to come find us, you are why we are still here. We are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. 1,000. That is our goal. That is the number that changes what we can do for stories like Ashlee Jenae's, the cases that deserve more coverage, more attention, more people asking questions out loud. 1,000 subscribers means a bigger microphone, and right now, we need that microphone. If you are not subscribed, please, right now, before the next chapter, hit that subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds, it costs you nothing, and it means that the next time a case like this breaks, you will be here from the start. You will not miss a single update. And if you are already subscribed, share this video, put it somewhere. Send it to one person who needs to hear this story. Because Ashlee Jenae's family is planning her funeral this week, and she deserves to have the world paying attention while they do. Thank you. Now let me tell you what happened inside that villa. From the moment Ashlee and Joe McCann checked in to the Zuri Zanzibar on April 6th, something was wrong that the Instagram posts were not showing. Witnesses at the resort told investigators what the cameras were capturing. The couple were quarreling. Not once, not the single disagreement on a single evening, frequently, from early in the stay through to April 8th. Other guests witnessed it. Hotel staff were aware of it. Multiple people at that resort were tracking the tension between this newly engaged couple before anything reached a crisis point. That is the context the public account from Zanzibar authorities never fully communicated. The framing from police was that April 8th was not the beginning, it was the culmination. 3 days of visible, documented conflict at a luxury resort where Ashlee Jenae was supposed to be celebrating the start of her engagement and her 31st year. On April 8th, the argument became what police later described as explosive. Not loud, not emotional, explosive. Volatile enough that hotel management made a decision that resorts don't make casually. They physically separated the couple and moved Joe McCann to a different villa, approximately 10 minutes away on foot, for their safety. Let that phrase sit for a moment. For their safety. Not because the couple needed space, not because it would help them cool down. For their safety. That is the language hotel management used, and that is the language investigators have confirmed publicly when describing why the separation happened. Before the separation was complete, a phone call went from Ashlee to her mother. She told Yolanda Endress that she and Joe McCann had argued and that hotel staff had moved them to separate rooms. Her mother said later that nothing in that call indicated her daughter was afraid. She sounded frustrated. She sounded like someone managing a difficult situation on a trip that had hit a rough patch. She did not sound like someone who was in danger. The call ended. Her mother went about her evening. She did not know it was the last conversation she would ever have with her daughter. 2 to 3 hours after the separation, a hotel worker found Ashlee Jenae unresponsive. That phone call is the last time Ashlee described her situation in her own voice. Everything after it, every account of what happened inside that villa between the separation and the finding, comes from other sources: hotel staff, investigators, Joe McCann's account to police, and a set of physical and medical findings that, taken together, have produced a case that the official ruling of suicide cannot fully explain. A hotel worker found Ashlee Jenae unresponsive in a closet with a belt around her neck. She was alive. She was rushed to a local hospital. She did not die in that villa. She died at the hospital on April 9, 2026, 1 day after the argument, 1 day after the separation, 1 day after the phone call to her mother. Police Commander Benedict Mapujira gave the official account. She had allegedly attempted to hang herself. He said resort staff had grown concerned about her well-being in the hours after the separation and had contacted authorities before she was even found. Staff were already worried. They were already making calls, and still nobody reached her in time. According to Joe McCann's account, as reported to investigators, he returned to Ashlee's villa at some point that evening accompanied by resort security staff, and that is when she was discovered. The exact timing of that return, what prompted it, how long after the separation it occurred, and the precise sequence of events between the moment he left and the moment she was found is what investigators have been pressing him on. And then comes the medical record that changes everything. A second hospital's report listed Ashlee's immediate cause of death as cerebral hypoxia resulting from strangulation and suffocation. That same report noted an unidentified mark around her neck. The report quoted McCann's account directly, stating, according to the husband, he found she hanged herself on the door. Two things in that document demand attention. The first is the cause of death, cerebral hypoxia by strangulation and suffocation. That is a medical description of a mechanism. It does not, on its own, confirm or deny whether that mechanism was self-inflicted. But it is not the language of a simple, uncomplicated death. The second is the unidentified mark. A hospital examining the body of a woman allegedly found hanging noted a mark that it could not classify. That mark has not been publicly explained. It has not been attributed to the belt. It has not been identified as consistent with self-inflicted strangulation. It is simply in the record, unresolved, sitting alongside a ruling of suicide that the family rejects entirely. The official autopsy was completed on April 14th. Its results have not been released. 2 weeks later, as Ashlee Jenae's body arrived in New Jersey for her funeral, those results are still pending. The family commissioned an independent autopsy of their own. Those results are also pending. 2 separate forensic examinations of the same body, and neither has produced a publicly confirmed cause of death. The investigation is officially ongoing. No official conclusion has been reached. Joe McCann called Ashlee Jenae's mother, Yolanda Endress, the day after. He told her that Ashlee had done something to herself. He told her she was being taken to the hospital. He told her she was stable. And then he told her it had been 11 hours since it happened. 11 hours. Ashlee had been found in that villa. She had been rushed to a hospital. She was fighting for her life, or had already lost that fight. And the man who had proposed to her 6 days earlier, the man who was supposed to be the person closest to her on the planet, waited 11 hours to pick up the phone and call her mother. Yolanda Endress asked him when it happened. She asked him where. He gave her the timeline in which 11 hours had passed before she was told. He told her she was stable. And then he went silent. The next time the family received information about Ashlee was not from Joe McCann, it was from the hotel. Staff at the Zuri Zanzibar called the Robinson family to tell them their daughter had died. Not her fiancé, the hotel. Harry Robinson has spoken about this publicly, repeatedly, without hesitation. He said, "The fiancé did not reach out to us at all. We found out from the hotel. That's devastating when your daughter's halfway around the world. We just wanted to know where she was at, who she was with, and that she was okay. Just give us something." Since that initial call, Joe McCann has been silent. He has not made a public statement. He has not spoken to journalists. He recently made his social media accounts private and updated his profile picture. He has not, according to the family, reached out in any meaningful way since the day Ashlee died. The family describes his silence as very, very odd. His passport was held by Tanzanian authorities through mid-April. It remains unclear whether he has since returned to the United States. McCann has not been charged with any crime. He has been questioned as a witness. Tanzanian authorities have said he is not accused of any wrongdoing at this stage. His silence is not, on its own, evidence of anything. But it is a silence that a grieving family, a global online community, and an active investigation are all living inside for 3 weeks. A family that found out their daughter was dead from a hotel and not from the man who was with her. And it is a silence that sits in the center of this case, like everything else that has not been answered. On April 25, 2026, Ashlee Jenae's body arrived in New Jersey. Her family had been waiting for weeks. Her father, Harry Robinson, confirmed to TMZ that her remains were returned to the family on Friday. He also confirmed something else, something that has galvanized the online community following this case and introduced a new dimension to an investigation that was already full of unanswered questions. The ring was not with her. None of her personal belongings were with her. Not the engagement ring that Joe McCann placed on her finger on April 3rd, the ring that she was wearing in the proposal video, the ring that was on her hand when she posted her last birthday photo, the ring that she was wearing on the happiest day of her life and every day thereafter until she died. Not that ring. Not any of her other personal items. Her body came home. Her things did not. Harry Robinson told TMZ the family has no idea if or when they will get those items back. He believes they are still being held by investigators as the case remains active. That is the family's best understanding, that the ring and Ashlee's other belongings are in the custody of investigators who are treating them as part of an ongoing active investigation. And that is the question your title is asking. Because if investigators are holding the ring, if they have collected it as part of an evidence process, it means something. Evidence is collected when investigators believe it may contain information relevant to the case. A ring can contain biological material, DNA, trace evidence, skin cells from the last hands that touched it. Whether the ring is being tested and what that testing has produced is not in the public record, but the fact that it was not returned with Ashlee's body, that it is being held while the investigation is active, is the most significant physical detail in this case that has not been fully discussed. Question 2. What is on the hotel surveillance footage? The Zuri Zanzibar is a modern luxury resort. It has cameras. The night in question involved hotel staff separating the couple for safety reasons, a safety call to authorities from hotel staff before Ashlee was even found, and Ashlee's death 2 to 3 hours after the separation. If the footage from that period exists and covers the relevant spaces and timelines, it could confirm or contradict the account investigators have been given. That footage has not been publicly confirmed as obtained or reviewed. Question 3. What is the unidentified mark? A hospital examining Ashlee's body noted an unidentified mark on her neck in addition to the injuries consistent with the belt. That mark has not been explained. It has not been attributed to any specific cause. It is in the medical record and it is unresolved. Both pending autopsies will need to account for it. Until they do, it sits in the case as something that doesn't fit the narrative that has been offered publicly. Question 4. Why 11 hours? Joe McCann was with Ashlee on that trip. He was in a villa 8 to 10 minutes away when she was found. At some point that evening, he returned to her villa and she was discovered. Then he waited 11 hours before calling her mother. No public explanation for that gap has been offered. Investigators have not publicly addressed it. McCann has not addressed it. It is the 11-hour question that this family can't get past and that the investigation has not answered. Question 5. What does McCann's silence mean? He has made his social media private. He has not spoken publicly. He has not reached out to Ashlee's family. He was questioned in Tanzania and his passport was held. He has not been charged. He has not been arrested. His silence is his right, but it is a silence that a grieving family, a global online community, and an active investigation are all watching. And at some point, in a courtroom or in a press statement, or in whatever form the inclusion of this case produces, that silence will have to end. Ashlee Jenae turned 31 on April 5, 2026. She posted that she was exactly where she needed to be. She was engaged. She was on the trip of her life. She had just written her future in public for everyone who loved following her to see. 4 days later, she was gone. Her body is home in New Jersey. Her ring is not. The engagement ring that should have been the first piece of jewelry her family held when they buried her, the symbol of the future she had just agreed to build, is in the hands of investigators who have not yet said what it means. McCann has not been charged with any crime. He is being questioned as a witness. He denies wrongdoing through his silence and the absence of any formal accusation. That is the legal reality, and it is stated here because it is true. The investigation is active. The autopsies are pending. The surveillance footage has not been accounted for. The 11-hour gap has not been explained. And a family in New Jersey is burying their daughter this week while all of that remains unresolved. We will be here when the results come out, when the investigation produces its conclusion, when the ring is returned, or when investigators explain why they are keeping it. Subscribe so you do not miss that video. Share this one so that Ashlee Jenae's story reaches the people who are not yet paying attention. And leave your thoughts in the comments. The specific, careful kind of attention that keeps a case like this from fading before the answers arrive. Ashlee Jenae deserves the truth. Her family is fighting for it, and they should not have to fight alone.